stuff here. Can I like put it here? Like, leave my wallet here? Can I leave it?
Big shout outs to Everdread, the greatest gift maker in history of making gifts.
Sorry for your loss, James. Let's see. We have $10 from Dylan Makowski. My friend's mom was recently diagnosed with cancer, so this is for her. It's awesome what you guys are doing, and I'm glad I got a chance to catch it this year. Keep up the good work, and good luck on your runs. Let's see. $10 from Snack Time. Loving the DK block. Keep up the good work. We intend to. Let's see. We got, we have $50.02 from Steven Jazewski. He's donating just because he wants Breakdown to call me the man, so let's hear it. I guess we could do one for old time's sake. Sir, you and everybody else who's donated to this point, you are all the man or the woman, if that is indeed the case. So shout outs to all 10,000 of you. We really do appreciate it.
Guy was so busy practicing he didn't even come to watch us.
And we should also take a minute out here to remind you who we are and what we're doing here. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, a live speedrunning charity marathon benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to preventing cancer through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Fine cause to support, so get those donations in. Every dollar definitely does help. This is put on by SpeedDemosArchive.com, the marquee source on the internet for speedrunning videos, pre-recorded runs on close to 1,000 games. We should get to 1,000 very shortly. Also put on with help from members from Speedruns Live, premier source for speedrun races on the internet, and a great streaming resource for all of you out there. If you want to catch speedrunning streams any day of the week, check out speedrunlives.com. Speedrunslive.com. And we are smack dab in the middle of our Donkey Kong Country block. We've got Donkey Kong Country 2 coming up here in just a second, and following that will be Donkey Kong Country 3. Should mention that for Donkey Kong Country 3, we do have 2 donation incentives. We have a, you can name the file that will be used for Donkey Kong Country 3. That is a 5-character limit. You just gotta, when you make your donation, just indicate that you want it for the file name and type in your choice. And there's also a warpless run that has a donation target of $5,000. It would make the run that we see on stream a warpless category as opposed to with warps. And there's still a ways to go on that one, so don't rest on your laurels on that. You have till the end of Donkey Kong Country 2 if you want to see Donkey Kong Country 3 warpless to get to that $5,000 target. And during this block, we also do have a number of prizes that you can donate for. We have 2 art prints and a painted wood block that are $10 donation targets. If you donate $10, you'll be entered to win those. We also have a Diddy Kong plushie $5 will get you that, get you in, well, a chance for that, obviously, as well as the Super Famicom copy of Donkey Kong Country 2, known in Japan as Super Donkey Kong 2. Fantastic title. And $5 donation will get you in the drawing for that. So get those donation in for a great cause, and you can win some cool stuff. It looks like we're about to get started here, so let's turn our attention that way.
Hey guys, tweeted Christmas presents, no H, if you want to know about free Apex tickets.
Fakeless height.
Is the mic on? All right. What? I'm on converter? Oh, commercial. Okay.
Of course.
We're good? We're not good yet. We're like on the third loop. Okay.
All right, this is
just want to give quick shout outs. Obviously the Juice, RPC, Twig, the original guys who got me in playing this game. Some other people, Hello Prinny, Crystal, the Dackers. More at the end of the run when I remember. Kipples, obviously. Yeah, a lot of people are expecting me to get a 42, which is like a pretty ridiculous time in this game. I'll be trying my best. My goal is probably like 42 or 43. So I'm ready when you are. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so in Donkey Kong Country 2, in the first 2 worlds, there's actually built-in warps. So he's going to be using those. There's also wrong warps you can do to save a couple seconds. So coming up here in the second level, actually, there's one that saves 1.5 seconds. So this run starts off real quick. So what he's going to try and do is take a beetle and clash it and get an invisible object and move where the warp barrel is. And instead of it taking him to the little warp stage in between, it's going to finish the level.
It kind of works the same way as the Dixie one does. The theory, anyway.
Ooh.
Oh, well, that's kind of hard with Diddy. You have to face backwards and let go and repress.
Yeah, it's only a 6-frame window in order to clash.
Not that big of a deal, though.
Yeah, because luckily you have the warp barrel still.
I have to get a extra barrel here, so I kind of have to go out of my way to reach this warp barrel here. Not a big deal though. Normally during real RTAs of this game, most of the resets are in World 1 due to the boss fight here, which is going to be pretty much purely RNG.
Also, all the tricks in here are pretty hard on World 1, actually.
So that's a nice,
it's a pretty hard roll to get out of.
Skip. That saves about 2 to 3 seconds. Normally you'd have to team throw up or raise the water I'm going to be trying a pretty hard trick here, which only saves a second.
Oh.
Not a big deal.
If you ever try and learn this game, do not learn this wrong warp.
Like the
Wait.
wiki says, bold red letters, flashing text, don't even bother.
Not until you get like a 43.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth learning until later.
Like I said in DKC1, if your game doesn't have a bird that totally screws you with RNG, it is not a real DKC game.
So those first 2 eggs are set, but now these can either be
This is
fake
all
or
random.
real.
And 1, 2, 3, oh, no. Come on, Carol. Not bad, not bad.
So that was the first world. Yeah, there's some pretty technical movement there, so I mean, I lost some time there, but it's not really a big deal.
So there's another wrong warp in this level as well. He's got to load this croc on the right. And then he's going to make an invisible object right here. Yeah, and he's got it. So normally it would take you...
Oh, no T1 jump, but
Yeah,
it's
so that's
alright.
another trick that saves about a second and a half. Pretty extremely difficult. It's put it shortly, it's a 2-frame input followed by a 1-frame input.
Nice.
Big boy.
But yeah, a lot of this game is pretty difficult like executed tricks that save very minimal time and cost like a ton of time on failure. So getting a good run of this game is extremely difficult.
I'd like to chime in, we got $100 from Half Baked Profit.
Yo, shout out to Half Baked.
Shout out to Half Bake.
Shout outs to hashtag DKC, the Dank Crew, and the God Gamer. RPC raid, blat, blat.
Flat, flat.
So we got one more free warp here, and then we got this boss that's coming up with the sword. He's got 2 phases, and after the first phase, you can actually jump up on the cave on the left and glide all the way across the lava to the right, and that saves 4 seconds.
Yep.
On the second phase.
We call it the lava fly.
Yeah, we call it the lava fly. It's so it's another one of those tricks. It saves 4 seconds. If you fail, you probably lose somewhere between like 40 seconds to a minute. So, yeah, I'll be going for it.
Nice.
And he had to make sure the sword lunged at him, otherwise these hooks wouldn't appear.
Yeah, so if you attack him beforehand, then those hooks won't spawn, and you can't actually get to the other side to continue like hitting him with those cannonballs.
Ooh, flying Diddy for the fans.
All right, so this is where the game pretty much begins. The warps are done. There are a few other warps, but they're not intended. They're like the wrong warps. So you'll see that more when I get there.
Let's see, we got $50 from Garage Door Opener. Says, thanks for all the advice you've given me on running DKC2 Reflected. Can't wait for Majora's Mask as well. And also, can I get a heyo from Golden, you all? Heyo. There you go.
Come on, better than that.
So I did a team up throw into the side up barrel, and that basically let me store a super jump so I could clear that entire section with Dixie's Glide, sorry. So that's a nice pretty little time save there. Usually that takes about like 10 seconds to clear with that that barrel, the natural route.
This level is actually deceptively hard. Even though it's a water level and you're not going to die, not touching any of the walls, whenever you touch one, you lose like 1 second. So,
A billion seconds.
no.
Depends. Yeah, you can lose 1 or several seconds. It takes, this is a pretty difficult level to learn and optimize.
That kind of goes for all the water levels in this game, actually.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3. And he's going to go this lower path right here so to reduce lag.
So like I hit some walls there. Obviously I lost some time there. This is like kind of the first challenging level of the speedrun.
Oh, it's not.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is like the actual real platforming.
Yeah, so there are these croc heads that you can roll on. You can only really roll off their eyes and on the edge of them. If you try and do it on the middle of the croc, it'll just eat your jump, eat your roll. So he's going to be jumping off a series of these, and it's dangerous.
Now let's go.
RP jump.
Jump.
I had to back out there because my roll wasn't good. Otherwise, I would have died and clipped the alligator.
This is a level that's very notorious for its
Horrible
horrible
hitboxes.
hitboxes.
Yeah, this game's animal friends do not have the best hitboxes or hit detection.
Yeah.
There's a very good example of how terrible these hitboxes are in this one of these upcoming sections. Oh, there's a good example right there.
The devil.
So I'm just gonna play it safe. Normally you hit that third crocodile and land on this plat, but I only have one Kong and I don't want to die.
You see him kind of sliding off the edge of those barrels, and that's because when you slide off, you get a little edge boost and keep your momentum. So that's faster than just walking along. It's also faster to jump as Rattly than move along, so he's always jumping everywhere.
Hitting select on some of these goals, it lets you goal swap, basically skipping the actual jumping on the goal to trigger the ending of the level. You can only do it on some levels, so.
All right, so what he's gonna be doing here is a cool glitch. Just float up as Dixie, and then followed by a wrong warp. Ooh.
I'm just gonna kill myself here. That was a mistake.
It happens.
Yeah.
So
He's gonna have to get back one Kong, and he should be good.
Fraudulent.
So with the glitches, that's Superfly. When you have two Kongs and one goes underwater and one is above water and you swap, the next hit you take messes up all the physics. So you go flying up in the air. And in this level, the water is supposed to chase you. And it actually unloads it because you go up too fast. And that sets up him being able to get an invisible object and into a bonus, and it doesn't know where to send you, so it just beats the level.
So now he's probably gonna have to complete the level.
Yeah, I have
normally.
to finish the level.
Yeah, this game is really finicky when it comes to wrong warps. If you load the objects, like enemies, in the wrong order, or if your camera isn't right, it just won't work. Everything has to be in the right order, in the right place.
Just like to take a moment to say that our next run is Donkey Kong Country 3, and we do have a donation incentive to make that a warpless run. That's currently about $3,600 away from being met, so if you want to see that warpless, you better get it in there quickly.
So that's what I was saying about the goal swaps. Like, you can do it on some levels, but not all of them. It's kind of, it's really, really finicky, as Twig was saying, with wrong warps.
I just want to note, when he's going through these barrels quickly, you actually can't mash or it's not effective, so he has to actually time each of these shots that are quick. So it's a little weird, because some are further apart and some are not.
Yeah, so I missed 2 there, which is all right.
Okay, so what he was trying to do there is, if you team up and throw one of your Kongs into an enemy, you can actually get a double jump, or a super jump, and you can throw your Kong through the vine in a really specific spot. That's the vine clip that saves like 10 seconds. But his input got eaten.
Yeah, unfortunately. So this boss is pretty boring, but there is a slight quick kill that you can do. Basically, it saves 6 seconds, or 2 seconds. Hang on, let me count this. Yeah, so I actually have to count Dixie's breaths to time this. But basically, on each one of these hits, I can time a quick kill, and it will net save me 2 seconds, but if I drop any of them, I'll lose 10 seconds on a cycle.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, just for future reference, most of these boss fights I'll finish with Dixie because her fanfare is just slightly faster than Diddy's.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes. That's scrolly scroll. That's the reason why he took a little detour to go grab that spider. For some reason, when there's a hook and you jump off the spider right onto the hook, and then jump off of it at that specific place, it scrolls the camera really fast to the right. So using that and teaming up so you don't get stuck in the honey, you can skip that entire section and save like 5 to 10 seconds.
One thing to note is if you do it wrong, you can soft lock the game.
Yeah, if you do it wrong, you can actually get stuck in the wall because you're like traveling so fast, and if you make a wrong jump, you can actually just get stuck in the wall. And in a speed run, you have to reset, and because you never save, then it's pretty much over.
You gonna get the life ref?
Yeah.
The swag balloon. Donated for.
So not much in this level, just like an auto scroller. There are 2 small skips that probably save like 30 frames, I'd say, even a second. Kind of risky, kind of not, I don't know. Here's one right here. I skipped that that mosquito right there. If I screw it up, I'm dead. And I wasted probably like a minute. If I get it, I'd say maybe like 10 frames. It's a good, good trade-off. Good trade-off.
Worth it.
2%.
There's another one coming up here. If you bounce at the edge of that last mosquito, you can skip the other mosquito.
All right. Yeah!
Very nice.
Yeah, so going for that in a real run is like absolutely pointless. But, you know, whatever.
Thank you, Raf.
No problem.
Okay, this is the run killer basically, Bramble Scramble. I'm sure if any of you played this game as a kid, you've heard this theme a million times because you got stuck in this level. At the beginning there, you actually did a little moonwalk and scrolled the camera right with that barrel, and that let him skip that B cycle in the beginning because they were in a different spot.
So I'm actually gonna take the side route here. This is a bit slower than the other section, but because I lost the Kong, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this route.
Yeah, and Dixie is actually really slow on ropes, and that was a whole rope section.
Mm-hmm. So if you mash hard, you can actually beat this B cycle here and skip waiting that entire time.
And
one of the only differences, the only notable difference between the Japanese and the American version of this game are there are less Bs in that one hallway. And there's one less B in Haunted Hall, one of the later levels. Those are the
Which
only
is just an auto
differences.
scroller.
So how much time does Japanese version say?
1 second, if that.
yeah, probably
Not
less
even.
than. All right, so he wasn't really going the wrong way. He was trying to get a barrel boost to make his cart go faster through the auto
Yeah, so I can
scroller.
actually retain that barrel speed throughout the entire level.
We got $15 from Mago. It says, DKC, one of the best games of my childhood. Good luck reflected. $5 from Demigod. Shoutouts to Lemmings, reflected and broken for the win from the Gear Squad. Got $50 from Tower. Feel like I should donate to the cause as I was diagnosed with cancer this summer. Keep up the work helping eliminating a terrible disease that affects far too many.
So in my opinion, this next upcoming level is probably like top 5 hardest levels in the game. Pretty difficult platforming with a pretty difficult wrong warp. So let's see how things go. Not sure if I'll get this.
Ooh,
Nice.
very nice.
That was pretty janky, but you know, this game is pretty janky. So
He's gonna do another double jump here, team throw jump, by killing this enemy, and it's gonna skip 20 seconds this level. Oh, yeah!
You got
there
the
we
hook.
go.
yeah, that's the save. So yeah, that skips pretty much all of the normal section that you're supposed to platform through, and basically brings me directly to that halfway point. It's a pretty good save. There are other ways to get that same skip, but that is basically the fastest way to achieve it. So this isn't really hard. You kind of just charge and jump. Ramby's hitbox is like, or his hurtbox rather, is like ginormous, so he'll like kill anything.
And you saw that at the end he did a Ramby double jump. If you, I think it's what, press left and jump at the same frame.
Yeah, so left and jump at the same frame lets you do a double jump with Ramby, skipping that up barrel. Another one of those saves probably like half a second tricks.
Cycle.
Yeah.
In the task, and if you get incredibly lucky, you can kill this guy only with 2 hits on the second phase. And all the runs I've ever seen, I've only seen it once.
I've never gotten it in a real-time run. I've done like a lot of runs of this game, and I've never gotten it once. If you hit that B on the same frame where he's spawning his little 4 minions that he spawns around him, you can skip a cycle. It's extremely, extremely, extremely difficult.
World 5 is kind of the make or break for this game. Every level except for the auto scroller coming up next is either intense platforming or a gimmicky stage that is just tough.
Extremely difficult world. Probably the best world in the game though.
Once you learn to run it though, it's just so fun. You can actually roll over top of those guys as long as you wait until you're on top of them and they're turned the other way. And he actually, just right there, he moonwalked to the left to despawn an enemy. So you didn't have to try and go around them or wait for him.
Another auto scroller, not a lot in terms of time saving. There is one thing, you can basically just jump up slopes and jump down slopes and save some frames. That's all you can really do. Everything else is just auto scrolling. So that's what I'm doing here and right here.
got $30 from Bright Wolves. Hey again, it's time for Rollin' Monkeys. I finally got my time down to 54 and 80%. I'm gonna keep practicing for that sub 50. Good luck on your run, Reflected.
So in the US version, there are 2 Bs right there.
Yeah.
Completely unfair. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, with the wrong warps, it actually only works in version 1.1, which is the later version. If you try them in 1.0, it'll actually soft block your cart because the game doesn't know where to send you. So I guess they patched it out, or
They like patched it in.
or
Yeah.
you know, they patched out the
Yeah.
soft lock so it just exits you.
I can't think of any other games where you use the latest version to play it.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. This stage has some wind mechanics, and he's going to use it to try and keep his speed. And he can roll really far under things because of it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good level for speedrunning.
Oh, no roll. Yeah, he was trying to land on the edge there and not grab the barrel, so you have like a really small
It's
place
a pretty
for
tight
you to land.
window, but you can basically roll off that ledge. It's a little bit faster.
There's a name for it.
Roll,
The rolly roll?
Yeah, the rolly roll.
It doesn't say that much time though, but it looks cool.
So yeah, the 2 upcoming stages after this are probably some of the hardest stages in the game. I'll be doing some pretty difficult strategies on both of them.
Not like Twig.
So you're supposed to fall with these parrots and they go down real slow, but yeah, we're not doing that. He's just gonna drop all the way down and have the level memorized and dodge all the bees.
Let's get the midpoint parrot.
Twin parrot.
Sorry, DBJ, no midpoint parrot.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very clean. Very nice. But there's still one. Ooh, you got the headbutt too?
Nice.
The headbutt.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Easiest level.
All right, so Webwoods, hardest level in the game, for sure. To do this optimally and even casually, it's pretty ridiculous.
It's very demanding. It has killed many runs for many runners of this game.
So with the spider, you can make these platforms. If you jump and press both the triggers, L and R, at the same time, you can make a platform underneath your foot. So you can jump again. Whenever you take damage in this game, you can actually jump. So in this later section of the game, he's gonna purposely jump into enemies, jump again, and then do a quick platform. If you're too late, you're dead.
That was the first damage boost there. He'll be doing another one soon.
And we forgot to mention one that's more important. Shout out to Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't have proper spacing there. Oops. So I kind of got hit there unintentionally, and I can't do my damage boost on this last section here, unfortunately. So I kind of have to just slowly plat through to the end.
Yeah, it's really easy to lose a Kong there with all those birds and the cannon guy.
Yeah.
Flat, flat. Flat, flat.
But yeah, we made it through.
So the only RNG in this game is actually on bosses. And this crow boss, he can either give you a barrel on the left, middle, or the right. And you can lose like 5 seconds if you get all lefts, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, good luck. The one that matters the most, though, is the second phase.
Yeah, so this cycle is pretty important here. This eagle, the real eagle, is going to be on the right side, and I want this barrel to land on the right side, and I get the left spawn,
Ooh,
which is what I
good
usually
luck.
always get when I do play this game. So, yeah. No surprise there. So I would lose probably like 3 or 4 seconds just because of that spawn right there.
And that rope section you just did is not easy, casually or speedrunning.
Yeah, because those eggs always will track to your location, no matter what, like no matter what part of the ropes you're at. So you have to like pretty much move all the time. And if you're not doing like speed jumping, like rope climbing strats, then it becomes really difficult to like kind of navigate through.
And this is arguably the worst level in the game.
Yeah, so I talked earlier about how janky the hitboxes are in this game. Like, depending on how this level goes, you will see my point.
We thought Engar could do things in DKC well.
Got the
Ooh,
puffer,
good luck. Or not luck.
the puffer despawn. This is kind of based on speed.
So that was kind of my fault there, but
Oh.
that's kind of another.
alright,
That's a
yeah.
good example of hitboxes. So like I'm like in a end guard lunge, but I'm still dead anyway. But that's not really that bad of a time loss there. I was right next to the halfway anyway.
The way he's getting out of that charge is he actually tapping right and then left again. So it doesn't even look like he's moving or changing directions to keep his speed.
So I want those bananas because I want them. Twiggy, can you explain that?
Oh, yeah. So he actually has to make, if you go and hit the goal underneath the water, it'll make her do the little jam session and lose time. So he makes the water go down a little bit, and then he crouches into and falls into the water, and then he can hit the goal without having to hear the little fanfare at the end.
Ooh.
So there's a pretty tight skip there that saves pretty minimal time, but it basically lets you skip one of the wind sections. I got hit, but that's not that bad.
Yeah, if he had gone just a little bit more to the right, you actually fall all the way down, so that's not that bad taking a hit.
Yeah, that's like well, best case scenario is landing it, but worst case is falling all the way down. So the hit's like in between. So there's a barrel here anyway.
Here's another skip that's coming up. That skips the whole right section where you have to
Yeah,
deal
so there's
with the
normally like
wind.
another huge, long, windy section on the right side, but you can actually damage boost. And because you automatically do a jump when you take damage, you can jump and clip like basically to the top of the level, or the top of that section rather.
And it's really nice that he kept the wind right there. Sometimes you'll fall if you go too far to the left. So that saves another second. There's all these little small tricks like that. It's really important that he kept both Kongs, because for the next level, he needs both of them, because he needs the DK barrel and 2 Kongs to do this skip.
Yeah, so there's this is probably arguably like the most broken level in this game. This is about like a 5-minute auto-scroller, and this trick will save about 3 minutes, roughly. So basically, I'm just gonna ride this auto-scroller up. I cannot lose this barrel. Basically, my life depends on this barrel. I can't get hit, and I can't lose this barrel. So those are 2 pretty important things here.
And you saw he grabbed that barrel right there. That was actually to reduce lag. Normally between that enemy and the dude throwing the hook, there's lag.
Yeah, there's too many sprites on the screen when the guy throws his hook. I'm also killing that spiny there to also reduce lag. Otherwise, game just lags like crazy right there in that section.
Okay, so coming up in like 20-ish seconds, he's going to drop this barrel on the left wall and re-pick it up. And he's going to get hit by a spiny. and for some reason it's going to load the top of the level on top of him. It doesn't look like it, but it is. And the goal is going to magically appear and he can jump on it.
There you go. Easiest trick in the game.
Yeah, so he just skipped one of those clappers that makes the water ice. You can actually run under this bee as Dixie.
Not with Diddy though, you have to crouch.
Coming up is a very tight window to, well, we'll see.
Yeah, so I grabbed the invincibility there to land a pretty long roll here. Any bad
Very
movements
nice.
there will basically, I wouldn't be able to land that roll otherwise.
So this level has another wrong warp coming up. It's just really finicky. He has to get an invisible object by aggroing a little barrel guy with the cannonball, grab him at the same time, and then make a cannon appear and go into it. Nice.
Very nice. Alright, so this is probably one of the most demanding levels coming up, or this level specifically. All these double jumps are 3-frame windows in order to do them.
Oh my god, double jump.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's usually the easy one too. I landed all the hard ones.
Try this one.
Yeah, so speedrunning in this game is really hard because in the last 3 levels you have wrong warp, probably in my opinion the hardest level in the entire game, Toxic Tower, and then on top of it you have Screech's Sprint, which is the next level, so it's really backloaded in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, we call this the final gauntlet because these last 3 levels in the game, excluding
Up in 3.
up in 3.
Up and 3.
But yeah, these last 3 levels, excluding the boss fight, are extremely, extremely difficult. Any big mess ups here, I mean, basically results in an end of a actual RTA.
I'd like to go over the open donation incentives we have coming up around now. They still have the Donkey Kong Country 3 file name. You can choose to name that with a 5-character limit. There's still the warpless run for Donkey Kong Country 3. If you want Donkey Kong Country 3 to be warpless, it's not looking good, but it might have a savior at the end here. It's at about 1,600 out of 5,000. And that's it's coming up shortly, so if you want to see that, get it in now. Let's see, Diddy Kong Racing's after that. We have, there's a glitch text storage. It's a glitch that messes with the in-game text. It sounds interesting. If you want to see that, that's 5,000.
Normally
target.
the race is supposed to start, but he just went away without him.
Yeah, you can skip it with a damage boost there, or you can do a very, very precise movement and skip it without actually getting hit. So since I got hit, I'm gonna go ahead and loop around here and just get an extra guy.
Nice.
Very nice.
So on each one of his, you throw the ball into his gun, he like sucks it up. On each one of them, it's a different timing on when he starts that animation. So Reflected is going to try and throw it at a different time every time to minimize
the dust frames, as we call it.
The only RNG bot in this is which one is real.
So that was a pretty sick throw there. So yeah, the fight in general is pretty easy, but you just want to basically time your throws to minimize like his sucking from his gun or whatever. This fight is 3 minutes and 20 seconds long, done optimally. So yeah, that was like the hardest cycle of the time. The like timing to throw that is like really awkward, and I got a really good throw.
Yeah! Blue Diddy.
That's just a cool graphical bug.
Yeah. I can also swap here, make Dixie blue if I want. This obviously loses a lot of time, but it's okay. This loses a lot of time because basically K-Rool's shots take longer if you get hit by one of his like colored attacks there. Basically, I guess the developers want to just give you time to react to whatever's about to happen if you get hit by one of these effects here. You can just clear that entire section with Dixie's glide. And if you're Diddy on this final section, you can just hold Y and left in this corner, and he can never actually kill you here. But Dixie is a bit weaker, so you actually kind of have to struggle out of there. Time is about to come up here. And time.
Very nice.
Yeah, big shout outs to DBJ who couldn't make it here.
Yeah, big shout out to him. I was actually gonna race him, but due to some personal reasons, he was unable to make it. Closing remarks?
You're the runner.
I don't have any closing remarks. 5 big points.
5 points. Shout out to RPC. Flat, flat.
So talkative.
That's the end of the monkey blocks. You guys win.
Nah, you
No,
all
not
should.
this year.
You should all stick around and watch DKC3. It doesn't have as many glitches, but it's some solid platforming. There are some really cool levels with the parrot, so.
Thanks for the promotion.
It's good.
It's got a purple parrot.
It does, man.
Actually, speaking of DBJ, we did have a donation from him
Oh.
sitting up here. $100. And he says, hi, all DB Joseph is here, but you can call me Dragon Ball for short. Sucks that I couldn't be there to race Reflected to give my speech this year, maybe next year. Shoutouts to my great-grandmother, shoutouts to RPC, shoutouts to Money, shoutouts to the Chilean crew, shoutouts to SSBM and his waifu, The Couch, and shoutouts to streamers doing Manhole. Put 50... We don't have to see where it's all going, but...
Thanks, DBJ.
Oh, he says he'll also donate another 100 if Chris tells the world how much he loves Midpoint Parrot.
Midpoint Parrot.
Worst thing ever.
Wow, Chris.
Don't ever get Midpoint Parrot.
Please, it's for the good cause. It's for the good cause.
Did you just deny PCF $100? Wow.
Why?
Why are you so greedy?
That $100 donation actually RPC gets to decide where the money goes.
RPC?
It's going to Bitcoins. I don't know for sure. Put
Yeah.
anything. Anything Twig wants.
Put it to the juice on the file name.
The juice, yeah, the juice.
Wasn't that what this one?
Twig to decide as well. Twig? What? We got $20 for you to decide as well?
The juice for the file name. You guys agree? Nothing else.
Actually, I already have that. Yeah, so 21
All right, coming up next is Donkey Kong Country 3. I think we're going to take a quick commercial here, and we'll see you back in a second. Don't go nowhere.
More at the end of the run when I remember. Kipples, obviously. Yeah, a lot of people are expecting me to get a 42, which is like a pretty ridiculous time in this game. I'll be trying my best. My goal is probably like 42 or 43. So, I'm ready when you are. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so in Donkey Kong Country 2, in the first two worlds, there's actually built-in warps. So he's going to be using those. There's also wrong warps you can do to save a couple seconds. So coming up here in the second level, actually, there's one that saves 1.5 seconds. So this run starts off real quick. So what he's going to try and do is take a beetle and clash it and get an invisible object and move where the warp barrel is. And instead of it taking him to the little warp stage in between, it's just going to finish the level.
It kind of works the same way as DKC 1 does. The theory, anyway.
Ooh.
Oh well, that's kind of hard with Diddy. You have to face backwards and let go and repress.
Yeah, it's only a 6-frame window in order to clash.
Not that big of a deal though.
Yeah, because luckily you have the warp barrel still.
I have to get a extra barrel here, so I kind of have to go out of my way to reach this warp barrel here. Not a big deal though. Normally during real RTAs of this game, most of the resets are in World 1 due to the boss fight here, which is going to be pretty much purely RNG.
Also, all the tricks in here are pretty hard on World 1, actually.
So that's a nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
nice
pretty Fakeless height.
Is the mic on? All right. What? I'm on converter? Oh, commercial. Okay.
slouch.
Say hi as RPC.
Of course.
We're good? We're not good yet. We're like on the third loop. Okay.
Alright, this is
Just want to give quick shout outs. Obviously the Juice, RPC, Twig, the original guys who got me in playing this game. Some other people, Hello Prinny, Crystal, the Dackers.
Mention that for Donkey Kong Country 3 we do have 2 donation incentives. We have a, you can name the file that will be used for Donkey Kong Country 3. That is a 5-character limit. You just gotta, when you make your donation, just indicate that you want it for the file name and type in your choice. And there's also a warpless run that has a donation target of $5,000. It would make the run that we see on stream a warpless category as opposed to with warps. And there's still a ways to go on that one, so don't rest on your laurels on that. You have till the end of Donkey Kong Country 2 if you want to see Donkey Kong Country 3 warpless to get to that $5,000 target. And during this block, we also do have a number of prizes that you can donate for. We have 2 art prints and a painted wood block that are $10 donation targets. If you donate $10, you'll be entered to win those. We also have a Diddy Kong plushie. $5 will get you that, get you in, well, a chance for that, obviously, as well as the Super Famicom copy of Donkey Kong Country 2, known in Japan as Super Donkey Kong 2. Fantastic title. And $5 donation will get you in the drawing for that. So get those donation in. It's for a great cause, and you can win some cool stuff. It looks like we're about to get started here, so let's turn our attention that way.
Hey guys, tweeted Christmas presents, no H, if you want to know about free Apex tickets.
Like, I have stuff here. Can I like put it here? Like, leave my wallet in here? Can I leave some?
Big shout outs to Everdread, the greatest gift maker in the history of making gifts.
Well, the first one is Juice for file name in DKC3.
Sorry for your loss, James. Let's see. We have $10 from Dylan Mikowski. My friend's mom was recently diagnosed with cancer, so this is for her. It's awesome what you guys are doing, and I'm glad I got a chance to catch it this year. Keep up the good work, and good luck on your runs. Let's see. $10 from Snack Time. Loving the DK block. Keep up the good work. We intend to. Let's see. We got, we have $50.02 from Steven Jazewski. He's donating just because he wants Breakdown to call me the man, so let's hear it. I guess we could do one for old time's sake. Sir, you and everybody else who's donated to this point, you are all the man or the woman, if that is indeed the case. So shout outs to all 10,000 of you. We really do appreciate it.
so busy practicing you didn't even come to watch me.
And we should also take a minute out here to remind you who we are and what we're doing here. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, a live speedrunning charity marathon benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to preventing cancer through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Fine cause to support, so get those donations in. Every dollar definitely does help. This is put on by SpeedDemosArchive.com, the marquee source on the internet for speedrunning videos, pre-recorded runs on close to 1,000 games. We should get to 1,000 very shortly. Also put on with help from members from Speedruns Live, premier source for speedrun races on the internet, and a great streaming resource for all of you out there. If you want to catch speedrunning streams any day of the week, check out speedrunlives.com. Speedrunslive.com. And we are smack dab in the middle of our Donkey Kong Country block. We've got Donkey Kong Country 2 coming up here in just a second, and following that will be Donkey Kong Country 3. Should